Hi everyone. So today I'm going to look at using my scoreboard as a design tool. Okay, so it doesn't matter what shape your scoreboard is or whether you're using the centimetre side or the inches side. I have printed off the internet this actual ruler because when I was looking at the moulded figures on here, I was having a lot of difficulty in actually seeing what the numbers were. So I printed off this. I looked for actual size printable ruler and managed to get one for both sides, and I've actually put this on a sticky strip of magnet. Okay, that gives me a thing to butt up against. Okay, so the rest of it is elastic bands. So if I come in, here's a large card, 8 by 8 or 20 by 20. So what I can do with my elastic bands is just slide them along, and I can do it so that they hold my card in place. Let's move one up towards the top. Don't worry about it slipping for the moment. And then I'm going to move this one. So you can get all different coloured elastic bands if you want to mark different areas. So there is my card in place, and for the moment I'm not worried about where the elastic bands are. But I'm going to bring in this bit here, and this is just a whopper topper and a greeting there. So I can now play around with just where I want these to be. So alright, that's 8 by 8. Maybe I don't want to use that card. Slide it out the way. Maybe I want to design on an A5 card. So let's slide that one in. I can still leave my elastic bands where they are, and let's have a look what that looks like. I think that is a better size for this topper. Okay, so let's have a look. I can look at this and I can see that I've got just over 2.5 centimetres, or an inch that side and an inch that side. So what if I want to bring it down a bit? I've put markings down the side of my scoreboard as well, so I can get a straight line across. Now that means that I can put my topper on there. I can slide this in 2.5 centimetres top and bottom. I can slide this one in 2.5, 12.5 there, and I now have an exact positioning for my topper. So I could take that out. I've got my marks there. I haven't had to put any pencil marks on my card at all. I'm going to put some wet glue on there, and with confidence I can go inside that, and I know it's perfectly level and it's perfectly in line. Okay, so I've got now a greeting. So let me pull this one down a bit, and I know that I've got 2 lines coming down, which means it's going to be exactly right there, and I can take this up watch my lines are level there. Which means now I can just go in with wet glue, line it up with the sides, line it up with the across piece, and now I can take my card out from underneath and everything is absolutely perfectly aligned. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. Okay, now I've also got, here we go, I've got a round topper, I've got a greeting there, and I've also got a border. So let's have a look. So I've got myself another A5 card. This time I think I'm going to use it landscape. So it doesn't matter what size your card is. We're just going to pop it into there. I will move these across. If your elastic bands break, that's fine. So I'm just looking at the moment at anchoring all round the card. There we go. So get that into position. Now let's have a look what I've got. I've got a round topper, I've got a greeting there, I've also got a piece here that is a punched border, and I have a bit of border there. Now when I look at that, it's not long enough to go right the way through here, so I'm going to snip the ends off so they're nice and tidy, and have a look how far that is coming in. Right, so let's have a look. I could put, see if I've got enough. Just about got enough border, so I can put it onto here, and it is just under 30 centimetres, so I can go 14 centimetres, 14 and a half, just mark there, and I'm going to cut through. That has given me two edges, not quite the same. Let's even those up. So that's where my border matches. So I can turn that and both of those will match. Okay, so let's have a look at putting this card together. So this one I'm going to match right to the edge, and while my wet glue is setting, that is just going to hold it in place for me. And this one, into there. Right, we've now got this. I don't have to use all of these bits, but I think, if you remember, I said this was a bit short, so I'm going to tuck that underneath there. Yep, I like the look of that. And where it was slightly short, my side pieces are now covering that. So I've got the elastic band measuring across there, so I get a nice straight finish to there. Flick that underneath and make sure it's lined up. I've got a perfectly straight border. I can now put this on and I can see immediately that that is going to be perfectly aligned. So slide that underneath. Now if I wanted to make sure that it was perfectly aligned down the middle, I could then add an extra piece. This is 21, so if I put it at 10.5, that is my exact halfway point. But it also means that I can come in with this, and the heart is in the middle, so I can align that under there, and I can immediately place this underneath, line that up so that the heart is there, and I can see that that card is perfectly aligned. These on either side, that in the middle, and the border at the bottom. You've seen how if it wasn't long enough we've tucked it underneath here. Nobody knows that that wasn't quite long enough, and we've then added this on top, all beautifully aligned. So I'll take that and put that to one side. Right, here is my large card. I've got a 15cm square card here. Let's turn it that way. I've got this baby boy card here, topper, and if I wanted to put that just on the front, I could move these across on the 2cm line, the 13cm line. I could come down 2 centimetres on that side, and I could come up 2 centimetres on this side. So check all your measurements. That now gives me a complete 2cm border all the way around, which I can use to centre that. Right. Doesn't look brilliant because I have an extra piece here that I'd like to incorporate. Okay, so what if I went to 1 centimetre? Could slide that up. That would allow me to slide that further up, and it's going to be very tight to put that on. So what if I come 1 centimetre on there? What if I was to design my card there, and then if I put this up here to check that's level, just tuck that underneath there. I can try out whether that would look better. I prefer that, but that's not exactly matching, so let's bring that up so I've got 1/2 centimetre all the way round, and that means I can have 1/2 centimetre on there. That's a much better arrangement. So what I do is, I'm happy with that, I roll up my elastic band to there, roll that to that side, and then I know that is my corner perfectly arranged. This is your designing tool. You can play around as much as you like and then commit to the thing. And when you take your topper off, you don't then have to wonder, oh, where did I put it? Okay, so I'm going to move this to 14.5 centimetres. I'm going to move this down to a 0.5 centimetre mark, which means then this is my corner. That I can commit straight away. I have macular degeneration, so straight lines are a problem. This gets me out of that, and when I'm designing a card, it is absolutely brilliant. Okay, no extra cost. You've probably got your scoreboard already. If you haven't got a scoreboard, then just get yourself a piece of stiff card and measure all the sides so that you can do that. It must be stiff, otherwise your elastic bands will buckle. Okay, so a piece of mount board or a stiff piece of card from a cardboard box you have. Okay, but have a go at making yourself a design board, and we'll come back in a minute with some other ways of using it. Okay, so I've sorted out a few bits. I'm not sure at the moment what I will use, and this is all part of designing. So I've got an 8-inch card, which is actually 20 centimetres square. So I'm just going to position that so I've got it anchored. Don't mind at the moment where the elastic bands are. And I've cut myself a toning piece of card because I want something dramatic. I'm not sure yet about these pieces because although they were on the same design sheet, I'm not totally sure they all go together. So I'm going to take this one here, and I've cut this 8 centimetres. So I can see my 8 centimetre line. So I'm going to slide that along, and I'm just going slightly the other side of 8 centimetres because then I can easily pop this in. Under there, line it up with that, and that is just now inside my elastic band. So I'm going to move my elastic band so it's just holding that in position for the moment. That was the piece that I knew that I wanted to incorporate. That is my topper, but I also have this piece of lace paper. Now I've got a lacy bit down here, but I want to use this scallopy edge. So I'm just going to cut around this. Always look at your pieces that you've got. You don't have to use them exactly as they've been printed. When I use my decoupage, I tend to split it all up. I can cut pieces from it and make it the shape that I want. Right, so that's already looking a lot different. So I want to bring that and place it onto there. It's a tiny bit bigger, so I'm going to cut this down. This was 8 centimetres, so I'm going to look what it looks like at 7 centimetres. Now, at 7 centimetres I should be able to leave myself a tiny fraction that side. There, I've got that anchored, so that will give me a straight edge down there, and it means that I can line up this. Now it is coming over slightly, but I'm going to leave that as it is, and I will trim it at the end. So I know now I can go back in this, I can get it exactly where I want it. So I line it up with the elastic band, and it is perfectly aligned. Okay. You can see it's just touching my elastic band here. So I'm now going to just move that along, and for a few minutes that's holding it in place for me. Now I can concentrate on this one. So there is my next one. Right, this is 20 centimetres. So if I bring in another elastic band, I can do a halfway point, which is 10, match it to the bottom 10, there is my halfway point. So now I can get my topper completely upright, and this one on here. Yeah, I'm still not happy with this one, so I'm going to take that off there. You are always the designer. You can chop and change things. So I'm going to take this now, slide it under there. I think I'm coming down to the middle of there. Right, so I can slide it down now to 1 centimetre up. I think I'm going to put that to that side. It's lovely to play around with things and only commit when you're absolutely happy. So that I know is upright, it's centred in that piece there, and this piece here so that's changed a lot from what I originally thought I was going to do. Here we go. And when you take the elastic bands off, then you can see the completed design. Okay. So it's using what you're probably equipment that you already have in your stash, and just a few simple elastic bands, and you are then in control of what you are designing. So I'm just going to trim that off, turn it round, make sure that that is level, and there is my design. So quite different to where I started off thinking about it, but quite happy. So let's bring in the other bits, and you can see that all of the pieces are perfectly aligned. and we had chance to mix and match, and it's easy to just put your stuff down exactly as you want it and not worry whether it's going to be straight or not. So have fun and enjoy being the designer of the cards, and you don't have to commit yourself until you're ready to. Okay? Enjoy. God bless.